WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sheriff Raphael Washington here, filling in for our hostess, who's usually with us at this time, former Commissioner Edna Bell. But we're going to jump right in and take her place for a little while until she jumps in and joins us. We're going to be bringing in one of our directors at the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, Director Sierra Crawford, who's in charge of our compliance. She's in charge of our compliance unit or section, or just the compliance of the entire organization in the jails particularly. And Sierra, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Good to have you today. And what we're going to do is talk about what compliance means in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office and how it is that your day goes daily and who works for you or who you're in charge of, the various departments, and we'll just have a good conversation. So what I want to do is start out so our listening audience can know exactly. Why don't you talk about you in the sheriff's office? How long you've been here? What is it that you were hired to do? And then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how that works. All right.
Okay.
All
So
righty.
I started here at the sheriff's office in February of 2011.
Okay.
When I first came on, I processed grievances for about 3.5 years here. And then I was promoted after that 3.5 years to the director of compliance.
Good. Good. So how you like working here in the sheriff's office?
I love working here at the sheriff's office.
Good.
I tell people when they ask me about my job, I tell them it's definitely something different every day. You can never anticipate what may happen when you go in. You have, a variety of things that, a variety of people that we're working with, the different things that, happen in the jails from day to day with the operation. So I told them it's always something new, and I really like that.
All right. So you said you started out working in what was it?
I was working in compliance as the grievance
working
coordinator.
in compliance as a grievance officer. So tell us what a grievance officer is.
So the grievance coordinator processes all the grievances within the jails. It's 23 categories. So all the inmates' complaints come filtered through the compliance department, and we just forward them on to the command staff or to a supervisor to provide a response to us. They have a window that they can go through and investigate the grievances, and then we provide a response back to the inmates. So during that time is when I kind of learned a lot of the policies and procedures for the jails, and I feel like that definitely helped prepare me for this role, working in compliance as the director.
Got you. So when you say 23 categories, what give us a couple of categories of how that goes.
So the categories can consist of anything from accounts to their commissary, their clothing and linen, discipline.
Okay. Things that they may feel like they're due or something like that, and they're making a grievance about it because it's not happening or something to that effect. Okay.
So, and I can say two things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the grievances inmates kind of communicate through us as a request. They are requesting things, but that's not a grievance. It's a request. Grievances are specifically complaints. It's a violation of a policy or procedure here in the jail.
So it's a violation of a policy or something that's going on in the jail that they're not doing, or is it something that they're not getting?
Something that they're not getting, they're not receiving.
Got you. So that could be also like I think they may complain about they know they had some mail coming and maybe the mail hadn't come or something to that.
Yes,
right.
Mail is definitely one of those categories.
So then the people who work under you are like investigators then, right? So they have to investigate the whole grievance that they received, and I guess
they're actually forwarding it over to the staff that supervises those areas.
Okay.
And they're monitoring the grievance to make sure it's staying within that window, the investigation window, making sure they're providing a thorough response, not just a short and basic response, making sure they provide a sufficient response where the inmate feels like he or she has a sufficient answer.
And so when they receive the answer, and it is what it is, that then it's over, or if they're not satisfied, is there an appeal process?
No, there is a window, and they have the ability to submit an appeal, and all appeals are submitted to the chief of jails. Got
you. And then the chief of jails will have to look it over and decide what's going on with that at that point.
Yes, and sometimes the chief of jails may ask for additional information. Sometimes there may be sufficient information to make a decision.
Got you. So basically, if it's not a grievance, so pretty much you get enough grievances to keep you busy, I guess, right?
Yes.
Is that right? So do you ever get any grievances on maybe they don't like the food that's coming in, or it's not nutritional enough for them? Is that a grievance, or is that a complaint, or what is that?
So we do get some grievances like that, but there is a set menu that's offered here at the jails. And no, it's not a grievance. The menu is the menu. There's a nutritional content. Our menu is evaluated by a dietitian, and it's evaluated annually by a dietitian to make sure that they're getting all the nutrition that they need. Now, if they need a special diet, they can often submit a grievance that's forwarded to our medical department. But our health services department has to confirm if that diet is sufficient for the inmate.
Okay, and then after that, it's what it is, right? It's
Yes.
just as long as the nutritional value it meets the standard, then that's what they have to receive, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So, can inmates receive any food from outside of the facility?
No, saying that is considered contraband.
That's contraband. Got you. Because I've had people ask me before. Well, people they don't like the food. Can we bring food into them, or have it checked or whatever that does? And but the answer, I told them it's no, but I just wanted to make sure I was telling them the right thing. So
Yeah.
you have to eat. I often tell them, very, very politely and kind of, you can get all the food you want if you want, not in here,
Yes.
So, don't get comfortable in here.
And the best option they have is to put money on their account and allow them to purchase additional things from commissary.
There you go. So let's talk about that for a minute. Well, that's kind of commissary, but I did want to hit discipline, and then we could talk about money on commissary, because I want to talk about that. So you said compliance is there's a discipline component in compliance as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? If one of our resident inmates have violated some kind of policy, and then it calls for a disciplinary hearing,
Yes.
walk us through that process.
So I supervise a team of amazing people that serve almost as a judge here in the jails. They receive discipline or incident reports, I'll say, daily from the command staff, and they review the report. They go and speak with the inmates and, interview them so that they can see their side of the story. They go talk to any other staff that may be involved, and they make a decision based on the contents that they have in the report to find the inmate guilty or not guilty. So as a result, that may, take away commissary for a certain period of time. It may take away phones and tablets for a certain period of time. But it's put in place for a reason, to make sure the inmates understand that they must follow the rules and regulations in place here at the jails.
So the ones that work for you have the ability to level those kind of disciplinary actions, taking phones away from them, and commissary and things like that.
Yes, so we work with the vendors to make sure that they, take away that period of time, and they know if this happens again, just, be prepared.
Wow. So does that seem to help a lot, or they just seem to forget that sometime when it comes down to discipline and various things that might cause them to be disciplined? Like I guess maybe fighting in the jails. Are they disciplined for that?
Yes, they are definitely. That's considered a major infraction. We have minor and major infractions. Fighting definitely is a major infraction, but I can say I feel like it definitely depends on the inmate. You have some inmates that will continuously just create this incident after incident, whereas other inmates, they have an understanding. My staff offer a counsel and reprimand. Sometimes they don't always get discipline on the first offense. So they offer them a counsel and reprimand, and they're letting them know, like, I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you a chance to do better, be better, follow the rules. And after that, another report comes, a few weeks, maybe months later, and they're like, okay, now I have to apply discipline.
So you all are tracking these inmates, and when there's something like that, you'll go into a system to see if they've had some prior disciplinary action and things like that.
Yes, we can track. It's an incident history that we are able to review, and we're able to see the type of incidents, the whether it's major or minor, the
Mm-hmm.
length of time that they may have been disciplined, and so all of that plays a role.
Got you. So you pretty much you and your team pretty much look over everything. There is I'm sure you probably get some calls from family members uh, uh, and friends that something is going wrong in the jail. Maybe they're not getting medicine or things like that. Do you all have to deal with that as well, or you just send that call to maybe the medical department or so?
So we get a lot of calls from the public, and I'm really big on customer service. That's
Good,
major for me.
good.
So if we get those calls and it's something that we can't per se respond to ourselves, we do filter it to health services, maybe the command staff, just the proper maybe account if it's something with finance.
Right.
We filter it to make sure that the caller, gets the response, and I myself follow up with those callers to make sure that they were provided a response and that they were satisfied with their response.
And I think that's so important, customer service and the way you handle that, because people, these are still people, loved ones who are in jail, in our county jail. And for the most part, as I always like to say, most of them have not been convicted of anything yet. If they're going to be convicted at all, they're probably in there in our jail because maybe the judge said they can't be released into trial, or maybe they can't afford a bond or bail. And so we should treat them accordingly, like regular human beings, and giving the customer service portion to their family members that they deserve. And I think we do that, and we do ourselves a favor by not becoming the bad person. It's nothing for us to do what it is and help those that are outside to see about their loved ones inside. So
Yeah.
that's good, and that's pretty much how your entire group who works for you. That's how they conduct themselves
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I tell them I stress customer service and the importance. And, we get a variety of callers. We may get some irate callers, and we may get, someone sweet, loving grandmother.
Exactly, exactly.
You just have to be able to be respectful and treat everybody the same. Respect is very important. And,
Mhm.
sometimes I get the irate callers, and I remain the same. I've been here 11 years, and I've
Right.
never change my character or anything based on the calls that I've received.
That's
And so
wonderful.
I get a lot of messages and thank yous and
Good.
yes. and,
That is wonderful. Yeah, yeah.
and they tell me like they really appreciate it, coming
Mhm.
getting filtered through my department, and they really appreciated getting whatever the matter was taken care of.
That is great, and that says a lot about you and your staff. How many staff members do you have?
So I have 6 jail services staff, and those are the individuals that are on the wards daily. They're visiting the inmates. Um, they're kind of, assisting me in monitoring the compliance. They're checking the housing units for any sanitation concerns, the food, making sure all the inmates are provided, all their meals, making sure that they have the hygiene products they need, cleaning products they need,
Good.
making sure that their overall health and well-being is met while they're incarcerated here. So I have 6 of those staff, and then they're also serving as the grievance coordinators and the disciplinary hearing officers. Then, in addition to that, I have 2 librarians and a public health sanitarian.
Okay, two librarians and public health sanitarian.
Yes.
So what does that public health sanitarian do?
So the public health sanitarian inspects our facilities daily. She's inspecting the kitchens. She's inspecting the housing units. She's inspecting laundry. Um, if any concerns come up, she's able to go and investigate and provide recommendations on how we can maybe mitigate or remedy a situation. She's making sure that we're meeting all of the health and sanitation codes, so that when we get our audits that come up, We're providing a report that she has submitted throughout the year. She provides a monthly report on just the overall sanitations in the jails. And so those reports go to the commanders. The commanders and the captains are able to kind of see what the sanitation, how they're doing each month within the jails. And so she tells them what they're improving on and things that they're doing very well.
That's interesting. So that kind of washes away the thought from the outside that their loved ones are just inside and being treated any kind of way and doesn't have hot water and just dirty and all of that kind of stuff that you hear sometimes.
Yes.
That kind of washes that away to say, listen, somebody's checking on all of those things all the time, correct?
That's exactly why our department is here, to make sure that their loved ones and family and friends are being taken care of while they're here in our facility.
Yes. And that's huge, because to hear this now, because as we always say when I bring various people on from the sheriff's office, we always say people don't realize what all goes on in the sheriff's office, in the jails particularly, and any other place that I bring people in, such as yourself and others, to talk about what it is that you do. People don't realize that the sheriff's office has all that going. Yes. So this is wonderful. I'm learning some things, and I'm the sheriff. So this is I always tell my people all the time, listen, when I say I don't have to know all the ingredients of the cake, but I know what it's supposed to taste like. You know what I mean? So y'all got to figure out how to make it taste good, and that's what you do in compliance, right? So that's good. So we're going to be moving into a new jail soon, and how is compliance going to work then? I think you had a chance to visit the new jail and look around and see what's going on. Are you going to need more people now that 3 jails are collapsing into one, or do you have a sufficient staff, or how have you thought that through? Because I know you're thinking about it.
And so I'm always open to having more people because of the load of work that we have in this department. Like I said, from day to day, you never know how much our workload is going to be.
Okay.
So, but with the new jail, I feel that the compliance department is necessary, so that new facility does not go back to what we came from. The reason, of course, that the compliance department is here is because of, the consent order that we have. The consent order was because of the, previously years and years ago, the conditions of confinement for the inmates here in the jails. Yes. And so they put the compliance director in place, and there were previous people before me, but they put them in place to make sure that we're monitoring the facility, making sure the inmates are well taken care of. So I feel like with that said, with the new jail, it's very important to have that department, because we need to continue to monitor. We need to continue to make sure that the inmates have what they need. We need to continue to process their complaints and, their requests to make sure, be that liaison and, make sure that we're helping, connect them with the command staff or connect them with the other departments.
So the compliance department doesn't go away when we move into a new jail, does it? Or does the consent order last forever? Or tell us how that works.
So the consent order sunsets when we get the new facility.
It does what?
It goes away.
Oh,
we get the new facility. Unless that you all come together and decide, if we are going to continue to keep an order in place. I think, collectively that probably will have to be a decision to be made, because we will be in a new facility. So everything that was put in place for that order will no longer apply.
But I would think that we'd always need a compliance department to just make sure that everything is running the way it should be ran. Somebody to hold us accountable, and that's even within our agency. We all have different things we have to do, and somebody has to hold that unit or that department accountable to make sure that things are running the right way. And so I think I would think a compliance unit would be what we need, whether we're being forced to have that or not. You follow what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
So if I have anything to do with it, and I think I do, we're
You
going to make
sure
sure that
do.
we're going to make sure that we still, have something in place, such as the staff that's doing that they're doing all the various things that they do, the grievances and things like that. We have to make sure that we're doing things the right way, and I'm all about having a unit that makes sure that we continue to do that. So
I feel
I
like this
think
department is definitely an important piece to the operation and helps
yes,
connect all the pieces to keep things
it
moving.
it does, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So I'm proud of what you're saying. I think the people who are hearing these things now are at ease somewhat. They should be, because this is a very important conversation to make sure that again we're providing customer service, we're taking care of those residents in our facility needs and concerns and the just the overall operation of what it is that we have to do for the short time that they're with us. We should make sure that we're doing it the right way. So I'm very happy and proud about what the uh, compliance department is doing in our agency and will continue to do in our agency. So I think when we get into this new facility, it's going to be a lot is going to be on you all to make sure that that things are running the right way. You know what I mean? And things are. You probably have to put some new procedures in place and to make sure. I'm sure you've learned a lot, just you and your staff, on what's going on in our jails and how to properly make sure that you're holding various departments accountable. And when we go into our new jail, I think that's still going to be needed. Something to know that somebody's watching and somebody's making sure that the jail is operating the right way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting over there and going into a new place. And I'm sure the compliance department will not let down because it's a new place. We'll have hot water. We'll have doors that's locking. We'll have all those things that are in place that don't operate properly. Those things will be operating.
Yeah.
When we walk in, and
And we need
so
to maintain them. Maintain it so our building can stay intact and new, in good condition.
exactly. So let's move to the and these times go by pretty fast, but let's move to the part of when people want to leave money on people on their loved ones, what we call them, put money on their books and things like that. Tell us how that works. Is that an in-person thing, or can they only put so much money on, or how does that go?
So the inmates can receive, so it's a variety of things. And of course, that area is supervised by Director Phillips. Um, she's the commissary director, but
Yeah.
they have the ability to receive funds from their family and friends via the kiosk that's in our facilities. That can come in person and put cash through the kiosk. And then we also have a link via your Sheriff Connect website that
Okay.
connects them, and they can also deposit funds as well.
So is there a certain amount of money you can put
I
into
don't
it?
think there's a certain amount. No, I
Yeah,
don't.
and that's not solely your department. I just
Yeah.
always call you for everything, so that's why I just that's why I I had you on speed dial for all those kind of things,
And
and I
I
don't
think,
expect you to know all of those, but I'm going to have the commissary director on as well, going down the line probably next month to
okay.
answer some of those commissary, because we get a lot of those questions, about commissary and so, and I'm sure there's a procedure of keeping track of what they have and what they spend and all of that. And so I won't burden you with that and have you, trying to figure that out.
Try and figure it out.
But I know I do call you. I know I call on you a lot, but because I know people talk about how do they put money in on their loved ones' accounts, and how much can they put on, and uh, can they do it online, and do they need to come in and things like that. So that's a whole operation in itself, along with the laundry and all that goes along with commissary. So we'll have a whole lot to talk
We
about
have a lot to
with
talk about.
the commissary director.
But
But
I think in recent years, with the advances in technology, we have definitely offered the citizens the ability to, different multiple ways to, put money on the inmates account. So I think that that's great.
yeah. So 6 people, and you're looking to have get more going into the new jail, huh?
How many ever you want to send over?
we'll we'll talk about that too. We'll see how we can best, because again, I think it's so important that that we do what it is that we need to do to take care of people. And if people have to be in our facility, we deal with elevators that break down often, and we don't hide from those kind of things. It's the truth, and from one of our jails anyway. And those things happen, and we need to let people know that we're doing the best we can to make sure that that we're handling those needs. Those when there's a complaint about hot water, we get right on it, right? Because you're going to get the message, and when our plumbers are on site, they get it done, and you all make sure that they follow up on that. That's what compliance does, right? I mean, there's a relationship, right?
Yes, so I can say compliance has a relationship with almost every department here in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
We work with various levels of command staff, and I can say, when you say I call you a lot for a lot of things, I think it's because I'm kind of like working with all these different people, and there's so many different avenues, and so I know that, okay, if this particular subject matter comes to me, I know who it needs to get to that's gonna, take care of it and get it done.
And you do, because you always say, okay, I'm a handler. You never say, well, that's not my that's not my operation necessarily, but you take it and you handle it because it's somebody needs some help. I know you get some calls about needing someone, maybe because things still go on in their lives, and they may need the what do you call the I'm going to say power of attorney.
The notaries.
The notaries. There you go.
Okay.
They may need notaries and their business taken care of. You all handle that stuff as well, right?
So see why we need more people?
I know, right? I hear you. I'm kind of setting myself up, but I hear you. I hear you, because that's true, right? People still got business going on, right?
Yes, my staff works very, very hard. Like I said, it's constantly something different every day. They, not only have to go in the jails and do rounds, but like you said, they have to take care of the calls from the outside. They have to assist with notaries. They have to assist with inmate discipline. They have to assist with, ward rounds and making sure, the facility is clean and sanitary. So it's so many things that they're tasked with doing, and it's only 8 hours in a day.
Yes.
And so they have busy days and, busy weeks. And then, we also work with other agencies within the county. If Corporation Counsel needs some information from us, we have to provide it. Various entities may request things, FOIAs and different documents from us. So we have to really prioritize our day in order to get everything done.
So if there's a FOIA that comes in and the compliance department has to deal with that, you get that from FOIA, and they'll send it over to you, and you have to
your FOIA coordinator. Yep, your FOIA coordinator sends us a notification and breaks down the information that's needed, and if we can provide it, we let them know.
Wow! You do a lot. I'm telling you, I'm learning more. We're gonna see about getting you one more person in there. But no, that's important stuff. And when they have discipline, that's what I'm always concerned about. That how does that go? We talked about it a little bit, but when you talk about, like, how long would it take? Is it a back and forth with the inmate about the discipline that they're receiving, or is it just like a 10-minute process or so? You tell them what happened, what they did, what the discipline they're going to get, then it's over, or how does
I
that?
can say the discipline varies. It's case by case. It depends because you can have an incident report with one person. You can have an incident report with a whole housing unit.
Hmm.
So it depends on how many people that you need to speak with, how many people you need to have a. And so I'll say this: when you have the disciplinary hearing, you're having it one on one. So think about it. If you have 10 to 15 inmates, you had to have 10 to
Wow.
15 one on one interviews with those inmates. And so the time can vary. It depends on how much information they're giving you. It
Wow.
definitely varies.
So
So
you have to give them that penalty right then, or do you get to go away and think about it and work some things out, especially if it's a lot of them that might be involved in the same matter,
yes,
and now you got to have discipline for all of them. You don't have to you can leave, you can interview all of them, but then come back and think about it, and then come back and give them the penalty, or so to speak.
yes. On some cases, when they conduct the disciplinary hearings, they, tell the inmate right then what their sanctions are, notify the housing unit officer, and then in other cases, there is time where they need to, make things pending if they need to go review further reports, maybe review footage, and just further investigate. Then that can kind of extend the period.
Wow, that is interesting. I didn't even realize that it takes all of that, to really get down to the nuts and bolts of what may have happened. And now that I think about that, yeah, it now is there a standard penalty for various infractions, or is
Yes.
it just out off the top of your head, whatever you think they should get, that's what they get?
No, so we actually have a rubric, and the inmates are aware of this information because it's contained in the handbook that's available to them on their tablets that's accessible in the housing unit. They can see the different infractions and they can see what the sanctions will be.
Hmm.
So they kind of know ahead of time when they first come in here, when they get their handbook, they know, what the rules are and what the penalties are as well.
So
So
no, go ahead, go ahead.
so they, kind of know already how much time they may get for whatever infraction it is if they
Gotcha.
are found guilty.
Well, that should help them, abide by whatever it is the policy says, so that they won't meet those infractions. That's that's interesting. But I'm glad that there is something, so they don't get to say, or loved ones don't get to say, well, why are you, penalizing them this much, or why are you not, why are you doing this or that? Well, there's already a written rule, the policy or infraction that's going to come with that penalty is going to come with that infraction. So you already know. So it's not like somebody is treating you one way and treating another person another way.
Yes,
So
we
so
treat
that
everybody.
do you get any I know you work with everyone, but do you get any calls about medical situations? Someone's not getting their medicine, or they say they're not, or they're not feeling well and they're not getting the medical attention. You get a lot of those calls in the jails.
We don't get many of those calls, but
Good.
when we do, we definitely make it a priority. Whether it's an email, whether it's a phone call, we make sure we prioritize it because healthcare is important, and making sure that the person is, in good health is important. So we make sure that we get that over to our HSA, or the health service administrator here in the jails, and her
Mhm.
team, and they investigate it and they provide us the response.
Good, good, good. So we have about 5 minutes left. Is there anything else going on with compliance that that the people should know about, or that we may have missed in our conversation?
Um, I can just say, I just wanted to say I'm thankful for this, having this opportunity to come on here.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful for the people that work for me and work with me. Like I said, the compliance department is a very hard working department.
Yes.
And I think they're kind of like the hidden gem in the jail.
Exactly.
I don't necessarily, they kind of see us moving and passing, but they don't necessarily know exactly, how much work is going on behind the scenes. And, I really have an appreciation for this department and the people that I work with.
Well, good. I think the department runs well. I think the leadership, such as yourself, they do a good job and help us to run these jail facilities the way they should run. And the staff they do a wonderful job for you. And we're gonna see about getting you. I need to talk to you who you report to and see if you can get another person. I don't know what the problem is, but we definitely want to make sure that you all are successful, especially going into the new jail, and where we're going to be working hard to maintain that facility. Bringing everybody into one facility. I think that I'm really looking forward to that, because I think that's going to help the situation, that everybody's together, and you're not trying to manage three different jails, because you manage now three different jails, right? I mean, the two.
The two, yeah. Now since we're down to the two now, yes.
But then when we do some different things, even before we move with Division 3, we got to make sure that that's operating correctly, right? Because there's some talk of moving some of our juveniles over there to better serve them. So the compliance will have to be a part of that, obviously, right? Because you got to make sure things are working over there as well. So with 6 people, 3 jails. That's you mean 6 per jail?
No, not 6 per jail. We had 6 split between 3 facilities.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. I
think the people, like I said, I'm glad that I'm on here, because it lets people know the other positions that's available working in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. They possibly may think it's just like a, officer positions, but there are a significant number of civilian positions, here in the jails.
That is true. And we're looking for people. We're looking for civilian personnel, just like we're looking for our sworn officers and our officers, our jailers. Definitely, I've had human resources even talking about that themselves on how much hiring we're looking for, and it's on the screen that Wayne County Sheriff is hiring, not just for jailers, but for deputies, for civilian workers as well. Come work in compliance and all the other clerical things that we have going. And so, it's a lot. And I think as we continue again to move forward, we want to be able to make sure that we have enough people working and gainfully employed. And the sheriff's department, the sheriff's office is hiring. All you have to do is go to www.waynecounty.com/employment and start a career in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. And you could even move from places to place inside we have clerical, we have compliance, we have those that work in the kitchen, right?
Food services, housekeeping.
Full service, food services, housekeeping, all of that. So come on and join us, Wayne County. And even if you're not in Wayne County, you can be a part of our Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and we'd love to have you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Director Crawford. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you for coming on the Community Bell Show with our former Commissioner Edna Bell. I had to jump in today and do something that I've never done, but I like to ask questions because I like to know everything, and so this was good for me as well. So thank you. We may call on you again one day, probably when we move to the new jail, see how that's going, how things are working in compliance. Because if we have to be in jail business, and we do, we have to do that as efficiently and the best way that we can. I think compliance is a big part of that. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Give our thanks in regards to your staff as well. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is going to complete our Community Bell, the Community Bell Show with myself, Raphael Washington. I am your Wayne County Sheriff, and Ms. Bell will be on next month, the fourth Monday, with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. We look forward to having you. Thank you so much. God bless you all who are listening, and we'll talk to you soon, real soon next month. Thank you so much. Thank you, Director Crawford.
I have a passion for taking care of people, reaching out and seeing if I can make you the best you could be. I've had 40-year career in healthcare. I am dedicated and committed to this city. I love Detroit. The district, for the most part, had been imploded. 3 years later, we have demonstrated reform improvement greater than any other district in the state of Michigan, so that the children of the city of Detroit have equitable access to education and a quality level.
Test 1, 2. This is Larry Whitfield, host of Sunday Throwbacks, and I'm coming to WVTC Detroit every Sunday, 5 p.m. See you soon.
Anybody need a bill paid? Anybody need a way made? Anybody need a prayer heard? Anybody need a rainbow word?
Hey, it's your girl, Nikki Jones, host of Soulful Inspirations. You can catch me every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on WVTC Detroit. See ya!
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit. You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.